So friends, the invitation of the song is to be more Christian and to live it from a place of heart. So as we come this morning with heavy hearts, many of us, we invite the Spirit to touch us and to comfort us and to join us in a moment of prayer. Please pray with me. God, our hearts go out this morning to those who lost their lives in Orlando in the early hours of this morning in a gay bar. Our hearts go out, O God, as we grieve and as we share their loss. Our hearts go out to their loved ones, families, friends, to all those who had no idea that this may have been their last night on this earth. Gather them in eternal peace, O God, as they now rest in peace with you. And for those of us left behind, for those who have been so affected deeply, we pray that you would comfort us through our actions and through our lives as we reach out to one another. We know that there are friends in this congregation who have friends and relatives living in Orlando, and we can't separate that event from the event earlier that day when a young woman, a singer, was also shot just signing autographs. And we can't separate that event from the events that have been happening in our own community here on Oak Lawn, where numbers of lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender folk and allies also have been victims of hate speak and hatred. And we can't separate those events from the rhetoric that has been happening in our country over the last several months and sees no sign of let up. Even our own Lieutenant Governor this morning tweeted saying, "You reap what you sow." How can that be so as a person of faith to condone such actions? We condemn such statements, O God. For this is a time when we should come together as the people of faith to acknowledge the values of Jesus, who said, "Love one another as I have loved you." Such speak, O God, gives permission for hate and is not on your list of values. Help us, O God, to use our righteous anger to speak up and to speak out against words that will continue to divide communities, divide your humanity. Help us to acknowledge that all of these instances are interrelated because of fear and hate. Help us to build bridges with one another, regardless of race and gender identity, or sexual orientation. Help us to build bridges with peoples of all faith. Specifically, we think today of our Muslim sisters and brothers in this season of Ramadan. Help us, O God, as a progressive community of faith to find ways in which we might raise our voice one more time against such division. Help us to be your ambassadors, O God. So in these days and months that will follow this particular moment in our church, help us as a Cathedral of Hope United Church of Christ to use its powerful voice to bring about transformation and change. It is the work of people of faith to change hearts and minds. And as those of good value and good conscience, we must use that voice today more than ever before. So grant us, O God, to be your servants here on earth, and not to allow this moment to pass without seriously taking into consideration our role to play as your people. For now, O God, may we use our lives to embrace one another in times of crisis, and beyond the crisis, to bring about deep change in our country and in those who have been called to lead us. May God's will be done here on earth as it is in heaven. Bless us, O God, that we might also be a blessing to the world. Amen.